These are the things that you realize as soon as you drive a VW Polo. Quick disclaimer. I don't actually own a VW Polo, but ever since my financial situation forced me to stop drinking, the bros have been using me to drive them around when they want to go to groove and get lit. I don't know where the bros get their money from, because our financial situations are not that different. Have you ever seen that suspicious looking driver who's always wearing a hoodie and will most likely not come out of the car at groove? Yep. That's me. And I can guarantee you, one of you guys watching this video is also a groove driver. Because of this, I have driven more Polo Vivos, TSIs, and even GTIs. I've taken friends to the airport. I've kept their cars for weeks while they are away on a business trip or on a vacation with their hands. I have safely transported one night stands from point A to point B and back to point A during sticky situations. If you know, you know. If you don't know, don't let it get to your head. The bros also know, even if they black out or get into a fight, they wake up at home in one piece with all their belongings still intact. But me, I don't work for free, baba, even if you are my friend. More especially if it's not an emergency situation. Rent is due and Mzansi is a dangerous country. The bros just find me something small to show appreciation to the bro. At the end of the day, I'm risking my life and wasting my time so they can have fun and not die. So it's the least they can do. It's a bit surprising and shocking to me how freely Polo drivers can just give you their car and allow you to roam around unmonitored. But because I spent so much time with VW Polos, I've realized that there are specific things that hit you the moment you start that engine and drive a VW Polo. So let's quickly address the elephant in the room. I meant to say the red handsome gentleman in the thumbnail. Maybe there's a science behind this, but the opposite sex loves this car. In South Africa, the Polo is a status symbol, a certified panty dropper. Hands worship the ground this car drives on. This car is the pinnacle of budget aura. But why? Maybe it screams, I am more expensive than I look, or I will take care of you and your family, or I will buy you anything you could ever dream of. I don't know, but if you see this red silk belt on your hands profile pic, you know what's up, my guy. It's time to pack it up and look elsewhere. But if you are single in Tanzania and you know your game is not up to modern day standards, I think it might be time to get a VW Polo. This car will do 99% of the shellering process for you, unprovoked. A single pop of that melodic hooter will seal the deal. The handling of this car is actually phenomenal. If you are coming from a budget car like a Suzuki Espresso, Kwid, or a Swift, getting into a Polo feels like stepping into a luxury hotel. The noise isolation is heaven compared to the other cars, and the Polo handles bumps surprisingly well. It does not bounce around like other cars in its segment. Actually, the Polo is almost too good. Sometimes it makes non-car people overconfident. For a quick moment, you feel like Paul Walker until you take a corner too fast and your car understeers and you fall off a cliff. On your way to the bottom, you realize you are driving a Polo in real life and Paul Walker was driving a GTR in a Fast and Furious movie. But let's forget your horrific accident and talk about the gas pedal. It's so squishy and responsive that it begs you to step on it and exceed the speed limit. That is why Polo drivers drive the way they do. The car is literally begging you to step on it. Coming from a Toyota manual transmission, the clutch on the manual Polos feels dead. It's like it does not have a bite point. On takeoff in traffic lights, I always found myself losing some traction and burning a bit of rubber. When you buy a Polo, you are faced with a tricky game of choosing the right boxes to tick. And in some cases, some owners make really bad choices. I never knew that a car could come without rear speakers until I drove a VW Polo and tried listening to the music. This is especially prominent on the Vivo models. You pay all that money and you look back, no speakers in the rear doors, no power windows at the back. You have to wind the windows down like you are in the 90s. Some of these lower spec models come with seats that feel like you are sitting on a rock. After a long drive, your nyash will let you know exactly how much money you have saved by not getting proper seats. There's a specific reason why everyone keeps buying these things. The fuel economy is absolutely unbelievable. Sometimes it feels like the Polo doesn't consume fuel at all. This is a great selling point because some brands like Suzuki and Renault will give us impressive claimed fuel economy, only to find out that the real world economy is interesting. The Polo is a great car for long distances and driving around town, but do not turn on the AC, because the moment you turn on the AC, the radiator fan starts screaming violently. All VW Polos seem to have this problem. If you are a conscious driver like me, the first few days of driving a Polo will be painful because you'll be constantly checking the temperature gauge, thinking the car is overheating. I don't want a fucking fan making noise while I'm trying to toast a hand in Pitori, my guy. We all know that those hands don't have time for slow learners. There are too many of these things on the road, more especially the white starter packs. Have you ever walked out of the mall with your beautiful hand, driving a trolley full of wheelie stuff she probably does not need, and click your remote key fob, walked to a white Polo, only to realize your key isn't working because it's not your car. And it becomes more embarrassing when the owner of the car is in the car. If I was familiar with the car, I would probably recognize it from a distance. But it was my Han's cute little Polo Vivo. That Han is a proper lady for letting me drive a car instead of abusing my car. The best thing to do is to pick a different color to save yourself from the headache. The community. The Polo community is one of the most welcoming communities in South Africa. If you park a Polo in the mall, when you come back, you'll find Polos parked next to your car. It's not a coincidence. It's intentional. It's the community letting you know that they see you and they feel your presence. During the Josie rush hours, Polo drivers will actually give way to other fellow Polo drivers. But if you are a regular Yaris driver, they will make sure to cut you off. But there's always that brave Uber driver who's driving a Nissan Almera that will squeeze himself in and risk being tailgated and shouted at with 100 loud Polo hooters. Driving a Polo is enough to earn you a free drink if you come across a Polo picnic. Yo! These guys love music and alcohol. A cooler box with Henny and Black Label is part of the tools that you need to carry in your Polo. And there's a specific dress code that defines a Polo driver. Shades, sling bag, cap, iPhone that's always on your hand, Timberlands, or a full Adidas strip, and a vape. It has come to the point where you can just easily guess the person is a Polo driver just from his swag and the walk. Small as the Polo is, it is actually a 7-seater in South Africa. The Polo community is a large community, and Polo drivers have a lot of friends. And it seems like they have an odd rule that no one should be left behind at any cost. So they had to make some modifications and turn the poor 5-seater into a 7-seater. Don't tell me this is a lot. I have seen 10 people come out of a Polo Vivo and the car was still cruising nicely afterwards. Driving a Polo in South Africa is a scary experience. At night you are constantly checking your mirrors. Are you being followed? Is that car too close? Patches get stolen. Headlights get stolen. Mirrors get stolen, wheels get stolen, the whole car gets stolen in South Africa. The feeling is even worse when you're driving a friend's car. These cars are notoriously easy to break into and steal. If this was in YouTube, for educational purposes, I will demonstrate how fast it is to steal a Polo Vivo, but I don't want to risk this channel. Let's just say, if you are curious, go look at those forbidden Russian websites. But if you do, you might regret buying a Polo. So, is the VW Polo still worth purchasing in South Africa? Yes, it is absolutely worth it. It's comfortable, it saves fuel, and it gets you the attention you never received as a kid. You'll never ever be single ever again in your life unless your village people are working overtime. But because of the theft risk alone, I'll never buy a Polo with my own money. So what do you guys think? Are you a Polo driver, and how is your experience? Has your Polo ever been stolen or broken into before? Do you use your Polo to go to groove? How many betties do you bag per day? How do you keep your Polo safe from car thieves? Let me know in the comment section below. And if I missed anything, let me know. Also, if you are a Han and drive a Polo, raise up your hand. We know you exist and you are welcome. Don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends, uncle, your madala, your magogo, and your mother-in-law, even your ex, and tell them to subscribe to MzansiCarStuff, because you also subscribe for more honest SA car content made by a real person who was made in Mzansi. Umuntu ngubuntu ngabantu. You are the abantu that make me umuntu. Thanks for watching.